Hey everybody, this is Jeffrey Segovia with YourStory.world, and today I have the pleasure of being with Miss Madison Rhoades. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for joining us. We're very curious. We just recently we saw a nice play here at the school, and you had a big involvement in, right?
Yes.
Can you tell us a little bit about how you were involved?
Yeah. So the play was called I Love You, You're Perfect Now, Change. It was a musical. And I was actually backstage the entire time. So you would have seen what I was doing during the whole show, but you would never have seen myself. So the main job, I was called the stage manager. And our main job is just to make sure everything runs smoothly. So from 30 minutes before the show, I call times and places for the actors. And then once we start the show, I'm calling all the cues. So light cues, sound cues. I'm making sure the stage hands know where to put the set pieces and the props, and making sure the actors are all ready to go.
So is this isn't something that you're like? Let me just. I might be a little confused here.
Yeah.
During the rehearsals, are you in charge of how they act, or what goes on when they're switching
Oh.
scenes and stuff like that?
Yeah, I'm in charge of what goes on when they're switching scenes. The director is in charge of everything with the actual show, everything that you guys see. So what Jarvis actually did was, during the rehearsals, he would have the actors, he would block the show first. So what you do is you take about a week of rehearsals and you figure out where the actors are going to be when they say which lines, and just kind of getting them comfortable with the set and everything like that. And then once you get into rehearsals, you're more working on the minuscule parts of acting, like what kind of emotion or expression you're going to be showing during certain lines. The stage manager's job is mostly just to make sure everything runs smoothly for the director so that he can make the artistic choices.
And how did you get involved? Is this part of your major, or how did you get involved with this?
It's actually my minor. My minor is theater. I've always loved theater, and when I was kind of looking into what major and minor I wanted to go into when I first started here, I actually was thinking about doing theater, but I was a little afraid of the real world, getting out and getting a job. So I figured it would be good for my minor to do theater. And then I finally settled into communications for my major about my second or third year of college.
And is this your first show that you were managing?
Yeah, well, the last show that we did, Love Song, did that back in the spring. I was actually assistant directing that show, so I kind of got the behind the scenes of that. But this show, yes, that was the first one that I did the stage managing for.
And is it like, I don't know, maybe I've seen like in the movies, is this stressful? Do you get like a headset where you can talk to other people like, you're on next, you're on next?
Yeah,
stuff like that?
You get a headset with a little mic, and you're talking to whoever's running in the booth. They're running the lights and the sound. And then you also have to walk back and forth between backstage. You have to be really quiet so no one can hear you. And you're making sure, all the props are in their place and all the actors are ready to go.
Are you going to continue to pursue this after school, or do you want to work on this?
Yeah, I haven't quite decided yet. I'm up to anything really. I love acting, but getting to work behind the scenes is sort of different challenges, and it's rewarding in a different sort of way. You're helping these actors and everyone produce this show for someone to watch, and it's just it's rewarding in a different way. So I'd be open to anything really once I'm done with college.
Yeah, because that's that's something that audience probably don't think about. They see what's going on in the front, but behind there's just as much work as what's going on out there, right?
Yeah, and when you get into the real world, there are tens of people working on shows. I mean, sometimes in smaller theaters, the actors are also doing the sets and helping with everything like that. But when you get into the Broadway and everything like that, you have 10 to 20 people working backstage, and you never get to see those people. So it's really cool to see what they get to do.
And with this show's I had talked to Eden before, and she had said that this was the first show in the back of the theater. Was that any different from having a regular using the whole stage?
Yeah, this is the first musical that Jarvis has ever directed, and the first one that we've done backstage in a really long time. And so it was different, because usually when you're doing a musical, everyone is mic'd and everyone's projecting their voice a lot. But there was some challenges too with doing it backstage. You have to realize your audience is only going to be about 5 to 10 feet away from you. So it's really, really neat.
Yeah, and these were sold out shows too, because of how small it was.
Yeah, that was a great thing. It's a very exclusive experience, the backstage theater. And something I've loved from working in the backstage theater as an actor is you really get to make that connection with the audience. When you have this emotional scene or song, or when you have something really funny, you get to see the reaction, which you kind of feed off that energy as a performer, and it's really nice.
Well, what was your favorite part from managing all these people? Was there anything that happened that you were like, oh no, that was a close call, or maybe something funny?
We had a couple little close calls. One, we were doing a show actually during the performance week, and one of the set pieces wasn't set right, and we had to quick switch it before we brought the lights up, and it was kind of a funny experience. But it's as like managing, you have to know where everything goes, so it's kind of you watch for those things and make sure. But I don't know, I think like the most rewarding thing about this show though was watching the actors grow from behind the scenes, because as an actor, when you're performing and everything, you're not really paying attention to what everyone else is doing so much as making sure you're doing everything you should be doing. And so when you're watching a show from the first rehearsal up until the last performance, you get to see these characters grow and change, and it's really remarkable to see the things our actors can do here.
And does it get stressful? Because it's like it was a 4-day show, right?
Yes,
so you guys did it, every day. Was it stressful, or did it kind of fall into routine work?
Yeah,
After the third day, or?
Yeah, it really falls into a routine. Before we even start performing for an audience, we have a couple days of rehearsals.
Oh, okay.
So we make sure to get everything down, like the lights and the sound and the music and costumes and everything like that. So that's all happening the week before the performances. And then when you're doing the performance, you already are in that routine. So everyone knows how much time they have to go fix their makeup and their hair, and then they'll come back up on stage. And so it's just, you're falling into that routine.
Yeah. Interesting. And so now that you have got this show out of the way, you got some good experience. Is there any upcoming shows that you're going to be a part of again?
Yeah, I'm not going to be part of this current show. I have to step aside and go work and stuff like that, make some money. But this next show is going to be great. It's a main stage show. It's a Christmas theme, so it's going to be really nice to see. But yeah, we've got a couple in the spring too. We're doing Charlotte's Web. It's a children's show, so that's going to be really fun, because whenever we do a children's show, we invite members of the community to come up and help us perform and everything. And it's always fun. Like last year, I took part in The Wizard of Oz, and that was such a rewarding experience to see. I mean, we had some children, they were age of 5, 6, all the way up till high school. And so it was just wonderful to see these little actors performing. And oh gosh, one of my favorite, Toto, Vivian, she was just phenomenal to see this, little girl. I used to be like that, you know? That's where I started, was in theater. And
so this has been, you've been involved for a long time?
Yeah. My whole life, yeah.
Wow.
It's been a lot of fun.
Okay, well, everybody that has been watching, come out and support your theater.
Yes, please.
I've heard of a lot of good reviews, but I've never seen the school be much involved. But you guys have had sold out shows, so it's proof that the shows are good. And Madison, thank you for coming with me and talking about what you do here at JSU. And good luck with everything.